India-Canada relations. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has once again spoken about the Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar's death and has stated that they have reasons to believe India was involved in it. He has, of course, stated and repeatedly maintained that Ottawa has reached out to New Delhi to work and has also reached out to other allies and I beg your pardon, and stated that this is something they are working on very, very seriously. Of course, he had triggered a diplomatic row earlier. Let's first listen in to what Trudeau has said.
Very, very clear that we want to work constructively with India on this very serious matter. From the very beginning, we shared the real allegations that we are deeply, deeply concerned about, but we have reached out to the Indian government and to partners around the world to get to the bottom of this, to take it seriously. That's why we were so disappointed when India violated the Vienna Convention and arbitrarily revoked the diplomatic immunity of over 40 Canadian diplomats in India. Think about it from our perspective. We have serious reasons to believe that agents of the government of India could have been involved in the killing of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil, and India's response is to kick out a whole bunch of Canadian diplomats by violating their rights under the Vienna Convention.
It seems that Justin Trudeau still wants to continue harping on what he has stated earlier. He still, of course, maintains that Canadian diplomats were quote-unquote kicked out in a violation of the Vienna Convention, something which India has in fact countered repeatedly, time and again. He also maintains the same statement that he had made earlier in the Canadian Parliament, that Indian quote-unquote agents were involved in the quote-unquote killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who is in fact a Khalistani terrorist operating from Canadian soil. Meanwhile, joining us on the broadcast to discuss more is Mr. Sanjeev Srivastav. He's an international affairs expert. It seems that Trudeau did not just double down, he is tripled down. And I don't even know how many times has he reiterated these statements. So even triple down would be an understatement at this point. What is it that prompts Trudeau to continuously make this one single point that even his Western allies don't seem to be backing him up on?
Well, Pia, I think these remarks are being made by Justin Trudeau over and over again. Repeated remarks, repeated offense by words. He is doing against India, and obviously India does not accept any of those words, and India will strongly reject such remarks made by Justin Trudeau. He is again referring to this kind of remarks as quote-unquote allegations, but where is the evidence? He is not talking about evidence. Pia, let me be in my assessment. I think this entire issue, Justin Trudeau government is dealing with the political motives. And the Justin Trudeau government's reality is that they are a minority government, and this government is being supported by this New Democratic Party and its leader Jagmeet Singh. And Jagmeet Singh is having close links with the terrorist and extremist activities, so-called pro-Khalistani elements in Canada. And I know at this point of time, this New Democratic Party is supporting Justin Trudeau, and he wants to remain in the power, and he wants to appease this New Democratic Party and Jagmeet Singh just to continue getting his support. So I think that is why he is repeating these remarks over and over again, in my assessment, and he is through this way he is attempting to keep these extremist and terrorist elements happy. So I think this kind of remarks, in my assessment, is a politically motivated remarks. But obviously, this is absurd remarks. This kind of a politically motivated actions cannot be taken in the realm of foreign policy. And in this way, he is obviously supporting anti-India activities. He is obviously trying to protect the various terrorist extremist elements which are doing all sorts of anti-India activities are from Canadian soil. But in this process, no, Justin Trudeau is forgetting the fact that how much harm he has done to the India-US, India-Canada relationship. This India-Canada relationship is a very big, vast relationship based on our shared democratic values and interest. And though he talks about all sorts of values like freedom of expression and freedom of assembly, etc., etc., but in practice he is doing opposite. He is allowing these terrorist and extremist and criminal elements to remain in on that soil and continue whatever they want. So I think this kind of situation is unacceptable. When he talks about the Vienna Convention, obviously India used the Vienna Convention Article 11.1, under which this action has been taken, and India wanted a parity of the diplomatic presence between India and Canada.
Indeed.
So considering the fact of the parity and considering the clearly laid out Article 11.1 of the Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relations 1961, India took that action. So on that front, when he is saying that India violated Vienna Convention, I think there is no point. And India has made its position very clear that there is no violation of Vienna Convention, and he should go through very carefully what Vienna Convention Article 11.1 says. So I think all sorts of this kind of remarks are being made by Justin Trudeau only through with the prism of politics and a politically motivated remarks he is making, just to keep these pro-Khalistani element, the New Democratic Party, appeased and happy.
Indeed, and with that.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.